Hi my lovely people, welcome back to another fabulous fragrance video. I have for you the most amazing, beautiful amber fragrances. Now I have quite a few top of the line amber fragrances, and I have a lot of information for you about the note of amber itself. So if you're someone who loves nice, warm, somewhat cozy and sexy amber fragrances, this is the video for you. Also, at the end of this video, I'm going to announce the winners of the Pkwy Paris giveaway. So stay tuned until the end of the video to find out the two winners of this Pkwy Paris giveaway. I'm giving away two Pkwy Paris fragrances. Find out at the end of the video. So before we begin the video, I feel obligated to remind you that I did change my channel upload schedule. Now the new schedule is Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. So again, Monday, Wednesday, Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Make sure that you subscribe and ring that notification bell so that in case you forget, at least you're reminded by the notifications. If you just subscribe and don't hit the notification bell, you will not get a notification. You will never be reminded of any of my videos. Subscribing really doesn't mean anything anymore. YouTube has changed things. Now also don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I will put all that information down in the description box. It's the same name, Ceylon Cleo, easy to find. Now let's jump right into these gorgeous, warm, sultry, sexy amber fragrances. I know many of you are fans of ambery fragrances. Well, guess what? So am I. Amber is one of my most favorite fragrance notes of all time, right next to vanilla. You know, amber vanilla fragrances are very popular. I have some of those as well. But there are other kinds of amber fragrances too that I will talk to you about. So I have about a little over 20 fragrances, but some of those are actually discontinued. I'm going to put those at the very end of the video. They are discontinued, but you can still get a hold of them, which is why I even want to share them with you. They'll be at the very end of the video. And also, I have done an amber fragrance video before. If you haven't seen that, check that out. I will link it up here and down in the description box. But I have a lot of new amber fragrances that I have added to my collection since then. So I'm going to put the newest ones in the beginning of the video, and some of the ones that I've had for a while that might have been in my previous amber video, I'll put towards the end of the video. So let's talk a little bit about amber, the fragrance note. Amber is a very kind of warm, sweet, slightly powdery kind of fragrance. It has this, it gives you these kind of warm, cozy feelings. At the same time, it can be very sexy. You know, amber can be very sexy. So that's why amber is very popular. Amber is actually a synthetic note that is a concoction of many different other fragrance ingredients like vanilla. There's even I believe a little bit of patchouli. There's like labdanum in amber, even a little bit of benzoin. So a lot of like resins and other ingredients in amber. So it's a very complex type of a thing. The very first time amber was introduced in perfumery was in the 1800s. I want to say mid or late 1800s. That's when amber started showing up in fragrances. Now, amber and ambergris are two different things. Yeah, they're related but separate. Now, amber is, like I said, a synthetic note. Ambergris is actually a natural note because ambergris comes from the sperm whale, and it's still allowed in perfumery because no whales are harmed in obtaining ambergris. It's just like the secretion that is created in whale stomach, and then they harden like pebbles and they get, you know, expelled out of their bodies. And so they're found in nature. It's not like you harm whales to find them. So ambergris is still in fragrances, and you can find ambergris, the natural note. But there's also ambroxan, which is a synthetic note that mimics ambergris. Anyway, that's another story. But today we're going to focus on not ambergris, but amber. The soiree of ingredients that are in amber are both natural and synthetic notes, you know, that amber is made of. So I guess I can't quite call it a synthetic note, but it's kind of artificially made, is what I mean. So it's a fantasy note, right? That's a better way to call it. And amber is always in a lot of the oriental leaning fragrances, if you have noticed that. Oh, and also amber can give out sort of animalic vibes, has that animalic sexy quality about it too. One other thing, amber can also sometimes give out a little bit of a liquor vibe too, like a little bit of boozy vibe. But anyway, that's why amber you find in a lot of boozy fragrances too. I'm going to start with the newest member to my sexy amber fragrance collection. This one is brand new, you guys. It's a brand new release by one of my favorite fragrance houses by now, because my goodness, everything I've tried from this fragrance house has blown my mind. And it was in one of my videos about new niche fragrance houses that I discovered that blew my mind. It's of course Maison Crivelli, and this fragrance is Ombre Chromatique. This is the newest fragrance from the Maison Crivelli fragrance house. This is absolutely gorgeous. If you are a huge fan of, well, let me get to the description after I show you the fragrance. So this is what the box looks like any other Maison Crivelli fragrance. And here it is in here, the same bottle. You guys know how much I am absolutely head over heels in love with Hibiscus Majad, and I am in love with this one as well, but in a different way. This is very different, of course. This one, you guys, is one of the most beautiful and incensey amber fragrances in my collection. So if you are a fan of really rich, warm, incensey, oriental, super cozy, just absolutely oriental type of amber fragrances, here's the one for you. Very, very, very incensey in the most pure sense possible, like the real incense smell. Oh, that oriental incense vibe. Oh my goodness. Oh, you guys, another thing about this fragrance, all Maison Crivelli fragrances are like that. Hibiscus Majad is like that too. You guys know that thing, you know, once you spray, you can't wash it off. You know, it's gonna be there projecting from your skin even after you take a shower. See, with this one, it's no different. I can actually smell it here. Isn't that nuts? From the atomizer. Wow, this thing projects like miles, projects miles. My husband smelled me like a mile away, like not literally, like across the house, you know. It's very, very super projecting, very highly oriental, incensey, amber warm fragrance. You guys, this is usually, you know, I haven't been, until I got a hold of this fragrance, I hadn't been a super fan of like the super oriental, incensey, you know, fragrances, but my gosh, this fragrance changed my mind about that. You know, something about the Maison Crivelli fragrance house, even when they do like a oriental fragrance with a slight Middle Eastern twist, there's something modern about it, you know, like this is very kind of a modern yet oriental, you know, Middle Eastern kind of vibes this has, like this fragrance. But oh my god, it's super incensey, but it's very modern. It's so gorgeous. The inspiration for this fragrance was apparently a trek through oriental jungles, you know, in search of benzoin, you know, that kind of the mindset. Many of the fragrance ingredients in this fragrance are of the pure level or classification, I should say. That means usually that's a classification that is given to the highest top of the line, tip top, highest raw materials, quality raw materials. So that means in French, I think the pure origin or something, a pure. So it's the kind of fragrance ingredients that are in here. So you guys, this has the most beautiful incense scent that comes from that pure incense essential oil that's in here. This also has the highest quality benzoin, the pure benzoin. So this also has pure osmanthus absolu. This has also like the CO2 extract of pink peppercorn, and it has most of all one of the sexiest fragrance ingredients that I absolutely die hard love, Davana essential oil. You guys, Davana is in here. You guys know how I feel about Davana. It's this like very sexy, very sultry. I think of a very sultry oil, you know, it's like a very sultry herbal kind of note. Now you guys know I've talked to you about this many times. If you're a regular watcher of my videos, you know that I've said don't be taken aback by the word herbal, but herbal notes can be super sexy. Like lavender is an herbal note, right? Lavender can be very sexy in fragrances. So there are some very sexy herbal fragrance notes that you guys should absolutely not ignore, like Davana. Oh my gosh, this is the most sexy, smoky, incensey, sultry, slightly dark, herbally sexy, I don't know how to say, oriental gorgeousness, you know, very ambery. So obviously you guys, this has a massive dose of amber in here. Because the bottle is orange, you will not be able to see the amber color of the juice, but this has got a ton of amber. Really, it's on another level. If you're a lover of super ambery, incensey fragrances, you're gonna love it. If you want to get this, it's now available. They just released it, I saw, on Twisted Lily. It released, I think, on October 13th, so it's now available on Twisted Lily. So yeah, it is Ombre Chromatique by Maison Crivelli. You guys, absolutely love this. It's the best amber fragrance in my collection, period. There are several types of amber fragrances. Like I said, there's the amber vanilla, which is the most popular type, right? And then there is like the white floral, like the floral amber fragrances. A lot of the times amber get like paired with white florals. So it's this type of fragrance that I have in my hands next. So this is Giorgio Armani's Rouge Malachite. You guys, this one is this gorgeous bewitching type of beautiful white floral fragrance with lots of tuberose, jasmine, all these beautiful white florals. There's some I'm sure like yellow florals too, but this is paired with that amber, you guys, like really a good combination. There's loads of tuberose in here, more than any other white floral, by the way. So yeah, combined with amber, it's so sexy and sultry. And I always wondered where this got that sultriness from when it's just like this white floral fragrance. Although they can be very narcotic and hypnotic, yes, but that sultriness, that sexiness, it comes from the amber. This is a white floral amber. I have a few other white floral ambers, so let me get them out of the way. This is from the house of Mugler. This is Miroir de Majestes. You guys, this one is a beautiful, very sexy, ambery white floral as well. It's very kind of aromatic. It's just very sexy, you guys. I really love this. I really haven't really gotten to wear this very much. It's time to start pulling this out and wear it. It's a little bit spicy right in the opening. Got some beautiful bewitching white florals in the middle, jasmine, you know, orange blossom, that kind of white florals, and loads of amber with that little hint of oud. Absolutely stunning, very sexy, very ambery sexy fragrance. If you love amber fragrances and you love white florally amber ones like Rouge Malachite and this, that's the kind you should go for. Then there's like, you know, like I said, there's like the really like smoky amber ones like the first one, you know, and then there's the white floral amber, there's the amber vanilla, so I have some of those too. So let me see, is that all my white? No, I have more. Next one actually is also by Mugler. This everybody knows about. This one is, of course, Alien by Mugler. This is a very sexy also ambery fragrance. It's actually, there are some similarities between these two, well, other than the fact that they're both Mugler and has that Mugler DNA. This is also kind of like that. It's a white floral, sort of like has a little bit of that dirty jasmine vibe. Dark jasmine vibe. It's sultry and sexy because of the amber in it. So again, you know, this has jasmine type white florals paired with amber. Very sultry, very sexy. Another one, then that wasn't a love at first sight from first sniff for me, but I really grew to love it because there's something very sexy and sultry about that fragrance. And I knew when I found out more about the fragrance, I realized, wow, it's a white floral amber. No wonder. They are very sexy and sultry, you know. And then there's the most ambery fragrance there is, you know, that's very pure kind of amber fragrance in my hands. Very classy, very, you know, kind of sophisticated in a kind of not mature way. So I don't want to give that idea. It doesn't smell mature, but it has that sort of grown-up vibes about it. This one is, of course, Chanel Coco. This one is a very through and through amber fragrance. You guys know Chanel DNA. You guys know very well Coco Chanel. Very, very popular. This is also like a super ambery fragrance. This has some other, you know, little bit like resinous, not balsamic, fragrance notes too. Like there's Upapanax, for example. There's labdanum with a little bit of that leather nuance. Loads of, you know, there's some citruses, loads of florals like rose and orange flower and a whole bunch of flowers. This even has this sort of slight animalic hint about this fragrance because it also has, I believe, civet too. And amber tends to give out a little bit of animalic feel, that sexiness, you know. So yeah, this is one of the classic amber fragrances. Smell very sophisticated. It's that type of fragrance if you like a very sophisticated amber fragrance. So I have a bunch of amber vanilla fragrances, and here's one of them. This is very popular. And you know what I realized? Amber really goes so well, or complements so well in the base of fragrances with fragrance notes like vanilla, of course, but myrrh. Myrrh is that sort of, you know, kind of not smoky, you know, like myrrh. How do I describe myrrh? You know, if you smell myrrh, you know what I'm talking about. Myrrh, incense, resin notes like benzoin, there's vanilla. All that is what amber goes really well with, and this one has myrrh in it and loads of amber. This is Jo Malone Myrrh and Tonka. This is fairly new to my collection. This is very beautiful. This is that sort of amber vanilla fragrance with, you know, that lot of tonka, you know, like a deep vanilla scent in the base with the tonka beans plus vanilla. You know, in here there's a little bit of, I believe, almond in here, giving it like a little touch of gourmand in a way. The myrrh is that balsamic, sweet, sort of aromatic fragrance note, you know what I mean? Myrrh is one of the oldest, I think the oldest fragrance note in the world, invented or first used in Egypt, you know, for like mummification and stuff, I think, like along with things like incense. Has a little bit of lavender too. This one is very beautiful, very sort of deep, ambery, vanilla for this time of the year. Perfect, has that cozy, sexy vibes about it. Myrrh and Tonka. I think now we're getting into the amber fragrances I've had for a while, so these may have shown up in my last video as well. But if you missed my last video, Here they are. I love these. These have to be talked about in an amber video. This one right here is Carolina Herrera Gold Incense. This is a little bit difficult to get a hold of right now because the confidential line of Carolina Herrera is difficult to get a hold of, but I will link it down below. You can find it. This one is a very, very super dark amber with loads of woody nuances. It's very balsamic, smoky from the incense. This has like a little bit of angelica too in here. It's adding that sort of slight green and musky nuances to it. It just is a very weird but beautiful fragrance. Like if you don't like oud, I don't recommend you get this, because whether it's revealed or not, this smells very oudy. There's definitely oud in here with some sandalwood as well, but it's a very kind of that strong oriental smelling oud, you know. So you may not, everybody might not appreciate this. If you are like a huge oriental perfume lover and you love a sharp oud, this is very ambery, but it has that sharp oud note, and it's got that smokiness, you know, from the incense that's in here. Yeah, it's a very deep, ambery, dark, smoky, balsamic, incensey, oudy fragrance, very ambery, highly amber fragrance, gold incense. Here, the most beautiful through and through amber fragrance, like amber's right in your face amber fragrance that I have in my collection is in my hands. This one is very sexy, very ambery. It's an amber vanilla fragrance through and through. Grand Soir by Mes Enfants Escargian. You guys know how much I love this one. This fall, I'm looking forward to wearing these a lot more. Last fall was kind of a blur for me. It was not a very good year. Anyway, this time around, I am moving all of my must-do this fall fragrances to the front, and I'm gonna wear them a lot more often. This has got loads and loads of amber and loads of vanilla and tonka bean, so it's got that deeper sort of vanilla feel, a little bit of labdanum with that sort of leathery nuances, slight bit of lavender too with that aromatic quality. Absolutely beautiful. This has vanilla, tonka bean, and benzoin actually, so I forgot. Yeah, so it's very heavily vanilla and very heavily amber. It's very ambery. I mean, can you see the juice color? Well, it's an amber fragrance, all right. Grand Soir, if you want a discount, I have down in the description box how to get discounts on Mes Enfants Escargian fragrances, so I do have a discount code for you down in the description box. Check it out. So the next one is a very highly woody amber fragrance. So that's another type of like spicy, woody, ambery fragrances. So that's another type of ambery fragrance. This is also got a little bit of that sort of smoky vibe about it. This one is Overture by Xerjoff, you guys. This one, super beautiful woody amber fragrance. I guess like a woody amber vanilla, but mainly amber. It's got some beautiful spice notes like cinnamon, some beautiful florals like ylang ylang, rose, even jasmine I think. But in the base you get that beautiful sensual woody notes, sandalwood, with loads of vanilla and amber, lot of amber, very sexy from the amber, slight hint of smokiness with a little hint of incense, I believe. Very beautiful, very, very sultry, very sexy, very cozy for this time of the year. Overture by Xerjoff. So now I have another type of amber fragrance. This is a fruity amber fragrance, which is rare to find. This one's fairly new to my collection. I just got it very late last year, or no, early this year. I got it a little too late for fall, I believe. This one is Xerjoff Muse. This one is a very plummy, just super sexy, herbally sexy, like Davana sexy, plummy. This has got a beautiful juicy plum note in the opening with some leather, you guys. That's so sexy. Leather gives it this strength, you know. It's a very strong fragrance. I mean, this thing will project over there, and it lasts forever. It's got some beautiful white florals. Davana, you guys know I just talked about Davana. Very sexy herbal note, very sultry, very sexy. It's a little bit of labdanum, like I said, some white florals, jasmine, magnolia or something. Very fruity from the raspberry and the plum that's in this fragrance. It's got that heavy amber heavy base with benzoin and even vanilla. I think a little patchouli, but you can't even smell the patchouli, but the strength is there from it. Very strong, sexy, fruity, plummy amber fragrance, Giorgio Muse. Next I have a very ambery fragrance and very beautiful rosy kind of amber fragrance. This one is from the Christian Dior Privé line. This is ambery. You guys know how much I love this one. I just got this in the beginning, no, not beginning, what am I saying? I got it in the summer, right? Yeah, so it wasn't time to wear it. I have been waiting for fall to wear this. I wore it a little bit, but you guys, when you wear the wrong fragrance in the wrong weather, you can't really appreciate it. You have to wait for the right weather to arrive, and that's when you can really appreciate a fragrance. You should never like buy a fragrance, like a fall fragrance in summer, spray it on and be like, oh, this is just, you know, because fragrances will behave differently in different weather. So this, I've been waiting for fall to arrive to wear, you guys. This is so beautiful. This has got loads of like rose. You can smell the rose. There's some pink pepper, some citruses, and this has of course loads of amber and ambergris in the base, and some woody notes, a little hint of patchouli, but you can't really smell it. Absolutely beautiful ambery fragrance. Unisex, but I think it smells great no matter who is wearing it. Now I have another one of those that fall in the amber woody category. Very woody, very ambery. This one is from one of my favorite fragrance houses, from the favorite fragrance line. Of course, Christian Louboutin, Louis World Collections. Latest ones, one of the 3 newer ones. This is, Louis Prince. My gosh. This beautiful fragrance is just absolutely stunning and mind-blowing. Oh my gosh, you guys. It's very ambery, woody, and vanilla-y kind of fragrance. It's kind of aromatic and just so pleasant. It's such a beautiful fragrance. Some slight bit of spice. So pleasant and so stunning, you guys. Very sexy. It's got some labdanum, some sandalwood, and loads of amber and tonka bean in the base. It's a bit balsamic too. I'm sure there are some balsam notes that haven't been revealed. This is absolutely stunning. I love all these like beautiful bottles that they came out with for this fragrance line. Every dollar spent on these fragrances from this line is just worth it, you guys. This is such a stunning, beautiful ambery fragrance. This is Christian Louboutin Louis Prince. Very beautiful amber woody fragrance. So I have another, actually, the Giorgio Muse was the first amber, fruity amber that I talked about. I actually have another fruity amber I forgot to mention with it, right next to it. This one is Giorgio Armani Si Intense, the 2021 version, the newer, latest one. This is such a beautiful ambery fragrance, you guys. It's like the most beautiful, like milder side amber fragrance. It's very fruity, so it's not strongly, like it's very ambery, but it's not like, how can I put it? It's not the super resin or super, I don't know, strong amber. You know, it's hard to put. It's more of a sweet vanilla amber, and it has that juicy blackcurrant note that really juiced this fragrance up, you know, with the amber. Even though it's amber, it's also very juicy. It's beautiful. It's got Davana. Gosh, do I even have to say it? If there's Davana, just buy it. Buy that fragrance, okay? Because it's sexy as heck when there's Davana in fragrances. There's some rose in here. This is absolutely beautiful ambery fragrance. Actually, I like to start wearing this right when summer start to leave us, like in the transition time before it even turns into fall, because it's milder, it's not too thick, it's not too dense, it's not the dense amber, it's your light fruity amber, you know. So I like to start wearing this like right in like August, you know, and then all the way through to winter, through fall. Absolutely love it. Very sexy. Get compliments on that one. Very, very famous fragrance, very popular with people. I have another sort of myrrh smoky amber vanilla fragrance here that's very, very sexy. It's hard to find, but you can buy it. There are places you can buy this. It's not discontinued, I don't think. I don't know, for some reason hard to find, but this one is Valentina Myrrh Absoluto or Absoluto. This one is, oh, so beautiful also. This I'm going to have to smell, I mean spray. I can smell a little bit, not too terribly a lot. Oh yeah, you guys, I mean, this is a beautiful, sexy fragrance, very kind of balsamic and sort of smoky, not really smoky, like that myrrh vibes, you know, you get what I'm saying. That sort of oriental sexiness. This has leather too, so it makes sense why it would be super sexy and like super long lasting and projecting. Good performance, by the way. Where did I put the cap? Oh, right here. So yeah, this is absolutely beautiful. It's got loads of musk too, some white florals and some yellow florals. Absolutely stunning, very sexy for this time of the year. This is when I pull those out. You know what else was in my vanilla fragrance video that's also going to show up here? Because this has got loads of amber as well. This is, of course, Guerlain Spiritus de Bellevigny. You guys, this one is a very much a beautiful sort of boozy vanilla, but this has loads of amber too. So it's a very beautiful, delicious, boozy vanilla-y amber fragrance. This has loads of vanilla and benzoin in here with a lot of other really beautiful notes. A little bit of smokiness. There's, I think, a little hint of incense in here. Absolutely beautiful, but that's not very prominent. What you smell the most is that vanilla and that amber. So beautiful. This is, and the booziness. This is Guerlain Spiritus de Bellevigny. Next one is a very, 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 very top sweet. So now this is a sweet, I would call this a sweet amber fragrance. Amber is by nature kind of sweet and complement vanilla very much, but this is even more sweet, this fragrance. This is very much an amber fragrance. This one is Kayali Invite Only Amber 21, I think the number is. This is kind of sweet, spicy. It's got some warm spices. It even has cherry a little bit, you guys, but I don't really smell the cherry. It's got like a little bit of tobacco. I mean, this is a very complex fragrance. It's got hazelnuts, it's got honey. I mean, it's got everything. And spices like cinnamon, loads of amber, loads of vanilla, a little bit of patchouli. It even has like nargamotha or cypress oil. I mean, it's got a lot of stuff in it. It's got sandalwood, very complex fragrance. It's not my favorite Kayali fragrance, and it's also not my super #1 favorite amber either, but I think it is a beautiful ambery fragrance. If you love ambery fragrances that are complex, perfect for fall time with a lot of beautiful like spicy and, you know, other like herbally kind of notes, kind of like the scent profile is different and it's very oriental too, by the way. You'd like this. This is Invite Only Amber 21. Now I have a very spicy amber fragrance. It's got some coffee in it too. This one is Xerjoff Golden Dollar. This one is known for like the coffee note in here, but you guys, this is more of an ambery fragrance. It's very much a spicy ambery fragrance more than it is a coffee fragrance. Yes, you can smell the coffee. This has loads of amber, some incense, some coffee, some, I think, even oud, some rose. There's gourmet notes like cacao in here. There's hazelnut. This smells, some people say this smells like a Turkish coffee. Not exactly, you guys. I've had Turkish coffee. I know what they mean, but not exactly. So I don't know. But you get the idea though, right? What they're trying to say. I get it too. I mean, it's got loads of tonka bean, which really complement the loads of amber that's in here. Beautiful fragrance, very like warm for this time of the year. That's perfect. Next amber fragrance is a very ambery patchouli fragrance, a fragrance type I haven't talked about yet. This you can still buy. I thought this was discontinued, but it's still available on Dior.com, and I saw it on Neiman Marcus one day too. I'll link where I can find this. This one is Mystère Le Parfum. You guys, this is beautiful. The entire Mystère line is absolutely stunning. This is a very ambery fragrance, but this has loads of rose too, and some patchouli. You know what? If you're intimidated by patchouli, please don't disregard this, because it's such a beautiful fragrance. No, the patchouli in here is not dirty. It's not too earthy. It doesn't smell like soil. Don't worry. It's very beautiful kind of patchouli that really complements that rose. Every time there's rose, that patchouli complements rose, you guys. Loads and loads and loads of amber and vanilla in the base. It's absolutely sexy. I absolutely love this one. Nighttime wear, really recommend Mystère Le Parfum. Now I have quite a bit of an ambery fragrance here. This is even in the name. It's called Dark Cherry and Amber. This is from the House Banana Republic. This is very affordable, but very kind of ambery fragrance. A lot of people like to compare this to, everybody compares everything to Baccarat Rouge 540. It's got a little bit of that vibe. It has like maybe like one or two fragrance notes in common with it, but it doesn't smell like Baccarat Rouge, you guys. People have to stop doing that. This has some cherry in it too, but it's not a very strong cherry note at all. It's right in the opening, kind of disappears. It's got cherry blossom as well. Praline, I noticed, gives that sort of like Baccarat Rouge vibe sometimes. Anyway, yeah, this is a ambery fragrance, very ambery. It's got, you know, some interesting notes, and it's very nice for an affordable fragrance. Really, that's all I have to say about that. So those are my main amber fragrances, but now I have a few quick honorable mentions. I'm not going to go into fragrance notes whatsoever. I'm just going to breeze through them, because almost all of them have been discontinued, and maybe one of them is not really my type, but a very good amber dominant fragrance. You get what I mean. So the first one is Tom Ford Noir Parfum. I love this fragrance so much. So sexy, very femme fatale, very dark, very sultry, very sweet. It's got that gorgeous ice cream like coffee note. This is so amber, you guys. When I decanted this, the juice was like super dark as this right there. I'll get to that one here in a second. So yeah, Noir Parfum, very ambery, super amber fragrance, being discontinued, unfortunately. You can still get a hold of it some places. I'll link it down below, but it's going away completely very soon. The other one that got discontinued was this one. This is the Mugler Alien Essence Absolu. This one is a gorgeous, I have to spray this one. It's not easy to smell this one. Very beautiful white floral amber fragrance. Remember, I talked about the white floral amber fragrances. Absolutely beautiful. I believe this has a little incense to some citruses, some, you know, citrus florals too, or something. Absolutely stunning. Unfortunately discontinued. That one is not even possible, I don't think, to get a hold of. I'll try to link it. If I can't find it, just know that it's discontinued. And the next fragrance that is discontinued is this one, my favorite line, Giorgio Armani C line. This is Giorgio Armani C Le Parfum. This one also been discontinued, you guys. It's such a beautiful ambery fragrance. I cannot believe that they're discontinuing that one as well. So this one right here actually is the Sospiro version of the Giorgio Muse. Okay, so this is actually the same thing almost. I think they're very much almost identical. So this is what turned into this. This is a little bit different. So this is the Sospiro version of it. It's, you know, got like that plumminess in it too. But I just wanted to show you this because this has been discontinued, and this is what Sospiro turned into. Sospiro turned into Giorgio, you know what I mean? So yeah, I just wanted to show you this, the Sospiro version. So I have a very sort of vintage smelling fragrance in my hands. This was originally created in 1920s, which, by the way, I completely forgot to include this in the my Hollywood beauty products you can still buy today video. If you missed that, check it out. I'll link it up here and down in the description box. I think because the newer version was released in 1980, so I didn't really think far, but I forgot the original version. The first iteration was released in the 20s. This is none other than, of course, Guerlain Shalimar. Very, very kind of old school fragrance. Some people say that this smells like Nana, you know, kind of grandma kind of smell. I know what they mean, but I wouldn't say that. Yeah, it smells grown up, mature a little bit, but not really like that way. It's kind of a classy smelling fragrance. This got loads of amber, but the difference in this is that it also has a lot of citruses. You would never think that citruses would go that well with amber, right? It's got a very citrusy opening, very ambery base. It's got like smoky qualities to it. It's balsamic, it's woody, it's pretty much everything. So that's why this is a very complex fragrance. Lot of fragrance notes. I'm not going to even go into it. Some powdery florals and some yellow florals and some just lots of florals. It's not your fragrance that you can wear every day. It's very much like that special occasion kind of fragrance that I would only wear this when I'm actually traveling abroad, like to places like India. This would be like the perfect fragrance to wear when visiting Taj Mahal, for example. I'm not saying that you had to wait for like a once in a lifetime opportunity to wear it, but you get my idea. It's kind of one of those, that type of occasion fragrance. I only have this in my collection because I think it's a beautiful fragrance, but not my type exactly, but should be appreciated, and it should be in my collection because it's a classic, right? So I'm not recommending this as like my favorite amber fragrance, but rather a amber fragrance that's very ambery. So that's why this is an honorable mention. So you guys, that's it. Those are all my beautiful ambery, sultry fragrances from my collection that I really love. The honorable mentions were mostly discontinued, but one of them is not exactly my type, which is why they were honorable mentions. But the first 20 I talked about, they are my beautiful amber fragrances that I just absolutely love to wear, and the honorable mentions that are discontinued too, I absolutely love them. I have some backups for most of them. I don't know why fragrance houses do that. So it's time to announce the winners of the Pkwy Paris giveaway, you guys. You know the giveaway is US only. I'm so sorry. It's difficult to ship fragrances abroad with customs, and it's considered a hazardous material. It's difficult. That's why it's US only. So it was very difficult for me to pick two winners, but I had to narrow it down to two winners. My God, the response was overwhelming, you guys. I had such an overwhelming response to the giveaway. So obviously everybody loves Pkwy Paris and want to test the brand out, the fragrances from this house out. It's a very intriguing fragrance house to taste, to say the least. So thank you for following the rules. When I picked two winners, I had to see if they followed the rules of the giveaway. This is not just my, you know, my giveaway. It's in collaboration with the fragrance house. So I want you all to follow the rules of the giveaway, which is you have to follow Pkwy Paris on Instagram and my page, and tag 3 to 5 friends under the giveaway post, and then of course comment down in the comment section of the original video where I announced the giveaway. So if you did all those things, then you were eligible for the giveaway, but I only could pick two winners, and I'm so sorry. It's so hard every time. I hate doing that, but I had to pick two of you. So the winners are Lachelle. You are the winner of Pkwy Deep and Desire Yacht fragrance, my darling. So you're winner number 1. And Juliet, you are the winner of Pkwy Paris Ruby and Vanilla Intense, and you're my second winner. Congratulations to both of you guys. I am going to contact you both on Instagram and I will have the fragrances shipped to you. Congratulations again. Thank you for being so lovely and always commenting on my videos and being so supportive. You absolutely deserve this win. Thank you, my lovely. Anyway, let me know down in the comment section. Please, please, please talk to me. I talked to you about this in my last video too. It really helps my analytics when you guys actually talk to me, comment, share your thoughts, even if I'm a day or two late to respond to you, because I am so busy all the time. I love it, and I read each and every one of your comments. Even if I take a couple of days to respond to it, I will respond to each and every one of your comments, even if it was a couple of days late. So please don't hesitate and go ahead and share your thoughts with me. I really love to hear from you. So let me know down in the comment section your favorite amber fragrance. So you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out to grow my channel, and also don't forget to click that notification bell for all notifications. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Don't forget the next video will be uploaded on Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern time. I'll see you in that video.